Hey, y'all, just stopped by to share some thoughts with you as we are in this time of restriction. And I've been seeing a lot of uh, people on social media, or I watch YouTube sometimes. I don't really watch TV. Um, I will watch things that I choose to watch. So I don't want somebody just feeding me whatever they want to feed me. The other day, my son had to come out and even turn the TV on for me because I don't even know how to use any of that stuff. However, I have been seeing on social media or little things that may pop up on my phone where people are talking about the suffering that they're going through, having to be home, having to be restricted, having to be restricted from spending time with your family or friends, or having to be restricted from going to work, from maybe shopping. I myself love the ocean. I've had a couple of times where I just flew back home just so I could get in the ocean. Um, so, we all feel, restricted, and it's not the best feeling. I do, however, want to give you a different side of it. And the other side of that is taking the opportunity to be present, and learn to be present. And I think it's going to be required for where we're going. Because obviously, if you're a thinking person, you know that if your local business has been closed for 3 weeks, it's highly likely that they're not coming back. So there are things that are changes that are coming, that we can be better prepared for if we embrace being present. Let me explain to you what I mean. You can be physically in a room and not be in a room. I don't know if you guys ever had this experience, but I had the experience where somebody was talking to me and you're just like, and all of a sudden you hear, yeah, da, 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 and you're like, oh, they asked me something. Like I wasn't even there with them, even though we're talking. And I hear that little voice go up and it's like, uh-oh, I got to now answer. So you can be in a room and not be in a room. That serves two purposes. It's both good and bad. Um, if there's a time when you need to be present, and then there's a time where you need to, you need to be present and suspend all those thoughts. And then there are times when you need your thoughts, but only the thoughts that serve you. My perspective on thoughts are that you cannot trust every thought that comes into your head, because they aren't all there to serve you. What does that mean? It's my brain. I'm the one thinking it. It's true. But you have your physical body, you have your thought process, you have your energy, you have your soul, you have your feelings and emotions. All these different things combined create the person that you are. There are thoughts that pop into your head that really are based on things that aren't factual, that aren't literally happening to you at the moment. Your ex that cheated on you 10 years ago is making you angry today, but I'm sitting in this room talking to you guys. There's no guy here that was cheating on me. It's not happening to me right now. That's not to say it's not real, that it didn't happen. It did. But it's not happening right now, so why am I going to spend my time, whatever time I have, focusing on that when I can focus on things that are actually happening? I'm sitting in my sunroom. I am blessed. It's a beautiful space. It feels good to sit in here. It's nice and raining outside. I'm talking to some friends. So this is what's happening to me right now. Not whatever my thoughts are telling me. Oh, people are going to watch this. Oh, the video's too long. Oh, your hair doesn't look like. Those thoughts aren't serving me at all, because what I'm trying to do is share something positive with people, and that's where I should be focused. So I have to be present and mindful. So thoughts are little creatures that, to me, they're little creatures, and all they want to do is create more thoughts, and they just want to take you down the path they want to take you, and not necessarily the path you want to go. And that's what I mean by they don't serve you. And many times in this opportunity to be still and be present, those thoughts will take you to a negative place. And so when you hear people talk about vibrations and energy, there's many of you that are going to know exactly what I'm talking about, and some of you won't. So I'm sharing to my friends that may not understand. So I look at, if you want to look at your energy and your feeling and how you're interacting, if you want to look at it as maybe a 20-floor building, okay, a high-rise building. When you look at anger and when you look at jealousy, when you look at, being petty, when you look at hate and all these things, those would be like the basement. And when you look at love and peace and joy, they're on the top floor. Those are where, the beautiful things happen. So I choose not to be in the basement. I want to live on the higher floors. I want to live with love and peace and understanding and wisdom, and I want to reach those higher heights. And so thoughts sometimes, especially negative thoughts, want to keep you in the basement. They'll throw a party for you in the basement, especially if you go to the next floor. Oh, they'll come up there and try to get you and put you back down in the basement. So we don't want to operate in those lower energies. So when you hear people saying about vibration and energies, you're really trying to send vibrations and energy out on a higher level and not be on those lower levels. So the way you have to do that is to not go into the basement. Now, what I mean by that is like, okay, the door may be open, they may be having a party, it may seem good in there, but what you don't go in there. Just get on the elevator and go up. Just don't even, like they say, don't even go there. All right. And this is what I try to do. And when you think of it like that, like, oh my gosh, I'm on that lower floor. I really don't want to be here. And when you're on that lower floor, that's where, like, when you're living in anger, when you're living in jealousy, when you're living in hate, when you're living in apathy and all those things invite other negative things into your life. They invite depression. They invite, malice or forethought. They invite, people who are attacking each other, whether that's physically or racial slurs or whatever. Because when you're in those lower levels, it's like a wicked evil soup. You know what I'm saying? So there's just all these ingredients that go in there. The higher you climb, the air is more clear, and you're not living in that gunk and in that soup of negativity. So what you want to do is first recognize that your thoughts don't always serve you, and you have to believe that. A quick example is perhaps you saw your friend the other day, spoke to them at the store, and you're talking to them on the phone now, and you say, oh man, that was a really nice blue shirt. And the friend says, I wasn't wearing a blue shirt. So I thought she had on a blue shirt. No, it wasn't blue. That was purple. Oh, I didn't know, but it was a really pretty shirt. Your thoughts told you that was a blue shirt. It wasn't accurate. Is that a bad thing? But if your thoughts are telling you that you're not smart enough, you can't believe that. Just like you really thought that shirt was blue, you can really make yourself think that you're not worthy. You can really make yourself think that you're physically unattractive or you're lacking in some kind of way. So I showed you with that small example of you thought the shirt was blue, but it was actually purple, because your thoughts can tell you stuff that's wrong. You can forget stuff, and you can put things in the place of things. So if you can create a memory that wasn't really there, or you thought somebody said this to you, but they really never said that, wow, how can you just blindly trust your thoughts? Because you can sit there and totally create a scenario that did not occur. That is literally possible. So, I see thoughts as these little creatures that are serving themselves. And anything that's not serving you, especially in this time, should not be welcomed. Because it's only going to take you off the path. What is more important to address is what really is going on at the time. So if I had a fight with my sister a month ago, but now she's calling me on the phone because she just wants to talk about something she's going through, right at this moment when she wants to talk, we're not fighting. She's just calling me and she's talking. If I choose to focus on the thoughts about the fight, we would not be able to talk. So me being present and going, okay, whatever happened with she and I, she right now just needs to talk and she wants to talk to me. And so that's how I look at things. I'm not going to take all those thoughts from the past and infuse it. Now, what I'm not saying is not to be mindful of that, because just because I am kind to you and just because I am being present, that doesn't mean that I have to choose to go back to whatever hurt or whatever negativity that we've had before. But I can exist in a space with someone and suspend my thoughts about all the past or whatever. I can do that if it's not injuring me, if it's not taking anything away from me. So if you're home and you really don't like video games and you don't care anything about video games, but your son or daughter wants to explain to you in detail the move they just made on the game, you can suspend your thoughts for a second and hear them out. What was it? Show me. You might find that you're interested in it. You might find that they have a knack for this. You might find a talent there. If your son is writing on the wall, maybe he's an artist and maybe we need to get him a canvas. As opposed to, he doesn't love me, he's just a bad kid, he has no respect. You can control the narrative. You can control the thoughts. So being present and really paying attention to what's literally happening right now, as opposed to what might happen or what did happen, or perhaps what you think is going to happen or what somebody told you. Being present is more important and focusing on what's actually happening. And many of us are home. Many of us have cable, Wi-Fi. There's food in the fridge. Maybe you don't feel like cooking. But, we're not in some cave where there's no possibility of food. There's no light. You don't know where your next meal is going to come from. You're not. The reality of it is that you're just annoyed because you got to stay home. Bad things aren't literally happening. So for this, even if it's for 5 minutes, that you can take the time when nothing negative is actually physically happening, you can be still and enjoy that and suspend those thoughts. We are in the business of being busy. And I call it busyness. We're always doing something. There's always something to do. Even people are physically alone in their house, but they're not alone because they're on YouTube and Instagram and they're watching TV and things are coming at them and sounds and noise and we're so distracted. And I've caught myself doing that. Well, I can't be in the house without the radio on, or I can't, my phone's in my hand, 40% of the day. And this is a great opportunity for us to stop all that busyness, go beyond thought, be aware of our space and feel our space and energy so that we can channel it when we need to channel it. A lot of us aren't in touch with our energy. We aren't in touch with our space. So you can't utilize that going forward. And you need this going forward. So you have to recognize the matters and not allow your thoughts to control you, because you really are in control. And I'm not saying that, I'm just a peaceful person and I'm just operating in high vibrations, because, I used to not even necessarily choose a lower vibration. I chose to just not address anything. I've had people be confrontational with me when it was unnecessary. I've had people walk in and out of my life, and I didn't know why. I didn't understand what happened. Perhaps I did something and was unaware, or perhaps somebody else around me did something and I was unaware. And I used to spend a lot of time thinking about that, wondering why. And I feel like the minute you stop to wonder why, you already defeated yourself. Because, again, in being present, whatever happened, happened. You don't have control over it. And you can choose to spend your time dwelling on that or trying to get closure, trying to wonder why. And then there are things in your life that are not getting done. I'm working on a book. Maybe you're, trying to grow a business or trying to start a business, even if it's an online business. But you're so busy thinking that you can't get out of your head. And so it was important for me to just let you know that you are in charge and you are able to control those thoughts and you are able to stop the madness and just be present. If you so choose to do that in this mandatory free time. Because really, ultimately, you cannot control anything outside of this little square space. You can't. You can't. You can raise 6 kids in the same house and you'll get 6 different people. That's how that works. You can't control that. Some people try. Eventually it breaks down. But some people try. So you have to recognize that you're only in control of you. And so if you are focusing on being the best you, whatever that is, because like I can't be someone else. I can't, people say, oh, you sing like India Arie. I can never. And she can never sing like me. And there's no reason for us to even address it in that way because we're completely different. So whatever your you is, if you start being present, it'll come to you. But you have to be still. You have to embrace being still and wanting to know who you are and wanting to understand who you are and wanting to be aware and feel, I like to walk on my grass. Sometimes I don't have my shoes on because I want to feel. When I'm gardening, I prefer to put my hands in the soil as opposed to using gloves. And I trust in the fact that I can spend my time saying, oh, you're going to get germs or you're going to get a cut or you're going to... Again, whatever you put out into the universe, whatever you send out there, that's what you're going to get back. So I try to not use the words always and never because when you're always something, there's no room for change. And when you're never something, there's no room for change. So I really don't focus on what bug might get on my foot. I'm just focusing on feeling the ground and the energy. And I like the way this feels on my feet. I like grass between my toes. I love being in the ocean. So when I'm in the ocean, I'm not thinking about anything but the ocean. Not my problems, not what happened yesterday. I'm just being present and dealing with the situation I'm in. So for my situation, I have sons that are over 18. They could be somewhere else living their lives, but they're here with me. So this is an opportunity. So I try to talk to them. I try to learn who they are, even if I think I know who they are, but now they're men. So I'm trying to embrace presence with them by trying to understand them and sort of suspending my thoughts about what I want to tell them or what I want them to know, who I want them to be, and embracing what's literally happening, who they are right now. It doesn't mean we can't talk about my goals or my thoughts or their dreams or their thoughts, but you do have to take time to be present. And recognize when you're in the madness that is those thoughts that are just trying to take you somewhere that you may not need to go. So that's what I wanted to share today. I hope this helps somebody, recognize that overthinking things, it really doesn't help because you can't change it anyway. If you're worrying about, getting the job, that's not going to get you the job. What's going to get you the job is they're going to hire you. That's it. You don't have any control over it. So try to spend some time being still. Try to spend some time being present, not only physically being in the room, but being in the space and loving on you, embracing you. is so important, especially going forward, because we're going to need all that good energy for the changes that are to come. Again, I hope this helps somebody. I really love you guys, and thank you so much for spending, I don't know, 20 minutes with me. All right? I love you. Mean it. Bye.